In an exclusive interview with OBN Horn of Africa Future Africa program, Mohammed Awal Ahmed, lawyer in Ethiopia, explained that federalism is power in governance divided between federal government and provincial government. He said that there are powers that are shared in the sense that both federal and state entities has autonomy to exercise power on certain areas of life, such as power on taxation. He also noted that federalism is important to secure security and freedom.
Federalism, in a nutshell, is simply about power and governance. Just to put it in perspective, it's a system whereby power is divided between two tiers of government, that is the national government and the state, or we can call it provincial government. There are powers that are shared in the sense that both federal and state entities has an autonomy to exercise power on certain areas of life. For instance, you can mention power on taxation in this regard.
He elaborated that federalism is an arrangement whereby two entities, federal and state, consensually share power between themselves, and it is a compromise whereby constituting entities of certain federation surrender a portion of their autonomy with the view of gaining some benefits in return.
Federalism is an arrangement whereby two entities, federal and state, consensually share powers between themselves. And again, it's a compromise whereby constituting entities of a certain federation surrender a portion of their autonomy with the view of gaining some benefits in return.
Mohammed Awal pointed out that the shape and the form of Ethiopian society by itself dictates federal system of government. The lawyer further elaborated that the very makeup and constitution of the society doesn't allow other forms of political system.
The very shape and form of Ethiopian society by itself dictates federal system of government, I would say. The very makeup and constitution of this society never allows other form of system. Look, for Ethiopians, federalism is not only a scientific prescription or an outcome from an academic discourse, rather it's a panacea discovered from the lived experience of the society.
The lawyer further elaborated that the society has tried imperialism, a rule by emperor, military dictatorship, a rule by military junta, until the new social contract, that is FDRE, that was adopted in 1991 and that proclaims equality of all nations, nationalities, all religion, language and identities of the peoples of the country.
This society has tried imperialism for decades, a rule by emperor, a rule by the despots, a homegrown colonialism, I would like to call. Again, this country has tried a military dictatorship, a rule by a military junta, until the new social contract was adopted in 1991. That is the FDRE constitution, a contract that proclaimed for equality of all nations and nationalities, equality of all religions and language and identity of the people of the country. Again, this is a contract that envisioned for an egalitarian form of society, the FDR Constitution.
Mohammed accentuated that federalism introduced the classless society, aiming at rectifying the historical injustice evidently rampant, adding federalism is an important political system discovered so far that fits Ethiopian context and that can tie people together, help them live in peace and keep unity of the state.
It was through this contract that a classless society was introduced in Ethiopia that aimed at rectifying the historical injustice that was evidently rampant. So generally, why federalism for Ethiopia is simply because it's the best formula discovered so far that fits Ethiopia's context, a formula that can tie us together, help us keep in peace, and keep the unity of the state as well.